Imagine a moment frozen in time, not by ice, but by fire. For millennia, ancient stories are lost to the sands of time, whispered away by winds and forgotten by generations. Yet, sometimes, nature becomes the ultimate storyteller, preserving a fleeting, dramatic instance for millions of years. This is the tale of such a moment, captured not in scrolls or carvings, but in volcanic ash. A profound, emotional narrative of urgency, instinct, and the primal struggle for survival, revealed through the most delicate of imprints. Ancient footprints that whisper of a mother's last, desperate run. Our story begins in the vast, ancient plains of Laetoli, Tanzania. It was the 1970s when a legendary paleoanthropologist, Mary Leakey, and her team made an astounding discovery. Not tools, not bones, but something far more personal. A series of perfectly preserved footprints. These weren't from a deer or an elephant. They belonged to hominins, our earliest human ancestors, walking upright a staggering 3.6 million years ago. It was a window into a day long forgotten, a snapshot of life's precarious dance. The landscape of Laetoli millions of years ago was dominated by active volcanoes, specifically the Satamon volcano. These eruptions were not always catastrophic. Sometimes they released a fine, unique carbonatite ash, different from typical silica-rich ash. This ash blanketed the savanna, creating an extraordinary canvas. It was a world teeming with diverse wildlife, from giraffes to ancient rhinos, all leaving their ephemeral marks in the soft, freshly fallen material. Little did they know, some prints would defy time itself. The miracle of Laetoli lies in a perfect sequence of events. A light fall of fine volcanic ash, followed by a gentle rain, created a plaster-like surface. This moist, silty ash recorded every nuance, every depression, every subtle shift of weight. Then a subsequent, thicker layer of ash fell, completely burying and protecting these precious impressions. This geological sandwich allowed the footprints to fossilize, preserving them for an unfathomable stretch of time, waiting for modern eyes to discover them. Initially, the most famous discovery was a trail of 3 bipedal hominins. These individuals, likely Australopithecus afarensis, walked together, their strides suggesting a relaxed pace. One larger individual, followed by a smaller one walking in its footsteps, and another walking beside. This provided undeniable evidence of habitual bipedalism at an astonishingly early date, reshaping our understanding of human evolution. It was a peaceful stroll, a family unit navigating their ancient world. But among the many prints, some tell a different, more urgent story. Scientists identified a specific set of tracks, slightly apart from the main group, that conveyed a palpable sense of desperation. A single, larger individual moved with an uncharacteristic swiftness, their strides longer, deeper, revealing a powerful push-off. This was no leisurely stroll. This was a frantic dash, an escape, leading us to interpret a more personal, harrowing narrative, a mother's last run. Alongside the larger, urgent footprints, faint, smaller impressions were found, evidence of a child struggling to keep pace. The smaller prints are less defined, sometimes overlapping, suggesting a hurried, perhaps even carried, movement. This fragile, precious evidence paints a picture of a protective adult, desperately trying to shield a vulnerable offspring from an unseen, but clearly imminent, threat. It speaks volumes without uttering a single word. What terror drove them? We can only infer from the geological context. The volcano was still active, and while the initial ash fall was gentle, subsequent eruptions could have been far more devastating. Perhaps the sky darkened again, a new cloud of ash descending, or seismic tremors rattled the ground. Whatever the immediate danger, it was enough to compel a primal, desperate flight, pushing instincts to their absolute limit. Time was running out. Analyzing the prints, scientists note the consistency of a larger individual's stride, seemingly prioritizing speed and direction, perhaps towards perceived safety. The arrangement of the smaller prints suggests the child was either trying to keep up or was being guided, perhaps even scooped up and carried briefly. It's a vivid, silent testament to the universal instinct of a parent to protect their young, a bond transcending millions of years and species. The footprints abruptly end, leaving us with a profound mystery. Did they find refuge? Were they overwhelmed by the volcano's fury? We will never know their ultimate fate. The ash, which preserved their final moments, also became their silent tomb. Yet, the very abruptness of their trail adds to its power, forcing us to confront the fragility of life and the immense, unanswerable questions of our ancient past. Their story is a dramatic ellipsis. The study of these prints combines rigorous scientific analysis with deep human empathy. Paleoanthropologists examine the gait, the foot arch, the pressure points, deducing biological specifics. But it's the narrative, the sheer human drama, that truly captivates. These aren't just fossils. They are direct imprints of life, fear, and love. They bridge the immense chasm of time, allowing us to connect with beings so distant, yet so fundamentally similar. The Laetoli footprints, particularly this poignant trail of a mother and child, serve as a powerful reminder of our shared heritage. Millions of years separate us, yet the fundamental human experiences, fear, love, the will to survive, the instinct to protect, remain unchanged. These ancient marks in the ash are not just scientific data. They are an emotional bridge to our deepest past, reminding us of the enduring story of humanity's long and arduous journey. The ancient footprints in volcanic ash at Laetoli are more than just a scientific marvel. They are a timeless saga. They tell a story of urgency, of parental devotion, and of the raw, undeniable will to survive against overwhelming odds. This preserved moment, 3.6 million years old, speaks to us across the eons, an enduring testament to the primal connections that bind all life. A silent drama, etched in stone, forever whispering the desperate, hopeful tale of a mother's last run, urging her child towards a future she might never see.